Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Friday. Okay guys, so this is something that I am so excited about because Jessica Nickson, you guys might know her from Big Brother. You guys obviously know her and her husband, The Amazing Race. Now she has a football team of children. I don't even know what's going on, but I met her at a nightclub called Liaison when I was working there. And I instantly fell in love with her because the sass and just the fact that this girl could sell a bottle to a table like no other. And I know times have changed and we're in a different place in our life. So now we're back to talk about Bravo Hot Topics. I see so many of you guys in the live chat saying that you heard my interview on Sirius XM Radio Andy yesterday. So thank you for listening. If you didn't, go check it out with Kiki from the Talk of Shame. But let's welcome Jessica. So go ahead, smash that like button, show some love, and let's get to it. Hello.
Hi, can we just go back and just like relive that for a minute? Because that was just such a funny time because the liaison was a hot mess.
It was a hot mess, but you know what was so funny is I felt like, okay, so for those of you guys who don't know, so Jessica was a bottle service girl, and I was what you call a TSA, which is like the one who holds the bottle service girls on your shoulders while they like dance with the bottles and do the things. And I always knew if Jessica was like working that night, we were going to make money because they had clients, right? So I was like, oh, this is going to be a money-making night. And if I didn't see her that night, I was like, oh, fuck. Like, what am I doing here? Not good.
I was explaining our relationship with my husband last night, and I told him there was something about the first meeting because we opened Liaison. So the club was opening, we were training, and all the staff was like meeting and learning the systems and everything prior to the opening. And I told him there was just something about Adam, like him and I locked eyes on day one, and I just immediately knew like we understood each other. We were on the same page. We were going to be friends, and it was just like that from day one.
I don't know if you remember, there was a TSA, guys, that just stands for table server assistant. And there was this TSA who he was a little bit of a thicker guy. He was like this kind of like built guy, but just like a little bit of a heavier guy. And one day he came in, and it was, I think, my first ever day at Liaison, and he called you a bitch and went in on you, and you literally lost your shit, and you checked him so quick. And I was like, oh my God, I love her.
I don't remember this, but I'm not surprised. My attitude when it came to bottle service in LA was I needed to portray like being mean to people, because guys in LA, like all of these people who are buying bottles, if you're too nice to them, they get the wrong impression. So
Right.
I had like a mean demeanor about me to protect myself, and it worked with a lot of men. Like a lot of men were just like, cool, she's all business and there's nothing there, and that protected me from dealing with the creeps. So it doesn't surprise me. I don't remember that. I wish I kind of did so I could tell Cody the story, but that's hilarious.
I'll have to tell you after this, but after like when you came in, I think that you came into work and you had a big secret and you were joining Big Brother. I remember this because I was like, I went home and I said to my husband, I said, I need to find a new job. Like, I am finding a new job. I'm out of here, wherever we need to go. And I ended up quitting Liaison after you left, shortly after you left. Yeah, I did. And he was the one who, for a lot of people who don't know, Liaison, if you guys go back to the hills, it used to be Ledoux. And it was where Lauren Conrad and all of them were.
Yeah.
So that top room that everybody used to get dressed in, you remember?
Mm-hmm.
That's right next to the manager's office.
Yeah.
That was where they would always have Lauren Conrad and like Kristen Cavallari and all of the people who they would bring them up for production and then let them back down into Ledoux. So it was kind of iconic in its own way.
It was. And I think everyone was scrambling to work there because we thought it was going to be iconic again, and it wasn't.
Yeah. What was her name? Tasha?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I remember seeing her too. And I was like, what a boss.
Yeah.
This woman is the boss.
service girls that we worked a private event together once. She just made an appearance on Selling Sunset. Do you watch Selling Sunset?
Yeah. No, don't say Brie.
No, not Brie. Cassandra. And I saw her in the trailer, and I told my husband, I was like, that girl, no. Like, the fact that she's on TV right now and trying to social climb her way into existence is so on brand for her. She's such a hot mess, and everything that she's portraying on national television, I'm like, you're a liar. She's crazy. She is absolutely crazy. And I loved that Brie shut her down and was like, I don't know you. We're not friends. And I just ate everything up. I was like, exactly. Brie gets it. She sees BS and she called it right out. So,
one of the Cassandra. Oh God. One of the topics we're going to get into, guys, too, is Vanderpump Rules, because I don't know if you remember Danica, who became a manager at Sir, where I used to work, but then she got her way onto the show and she was a 1-season wonder, which is not good for anybody, but she tried and she failed. And we also worked with her in a totally different, we'll get to it. But are you ready for the Bravo Hot Topics? Because I feel like I'm going to do just like a spitfire round at you.
Give it to me, because I feel like I don't get to talk Bravo with anyone.
My God, you're in mommy mode.
Yeah. When am I going to talk to my 4-year-old and be like, okay, so Kyle Richards has been with her husband for forever and they might be getting a divorce. That's crazy.
Your 4-year-old's like, girl, fill up this bottle and let me know and let's talk about it and we will go through it.
The day that she can sit there and gossip with me, it's gonna be weird.
It's not far. I mean, honestly, I feel like Halloween was yesterday and now it's Thanksgiving. So it's coming. It's coming. But okay, so I wanted to ask you, because Shannon Beador feels like after blowing over 3 times the legal limit in her DUI and hit and run, and she crashed her car into the side of a house, which we all know. And after she did, the girl has a leaking oil tank, whatever it was. So there's a trail that follows the car. She pulls over on the side of the road. She gets out. She walks her dog. The police obviously see where the trail is going. And she gets a DUI and gets arrested for a hit and run. Now, and I don't know how many people you know who have had a DUI, but I feel like for me, being in Los Angeles, I know a lot. And they had very harsh sentences.
Maybe not as grown adults. At what point in your life do you learn, hey, drinking and driving is wrong and it's dangerous, and I probably shouldn't be doing that?
Well, I mean, that's a great question, but I feel like people still. Listen, we're at 50 years old and we're still doing it. So for her, she ended up getting the DUI and she was sentenced. And she just recently came out, her and her attorney, and said that she felt like she was harshly sentenced based off of her celebrity status. So her sentence, just to give you kind of play-by-play, was 40 hours of community service. That's either 5 days of 8 hours or 10 days of 4 hours. That is not that bad. A $950 fine. She didn't lose her license. She has to do 9 months of an alcohol program where I believe it's either 1 day a week or 1 day every other week. And she's on 3 years of probation. So no jail time, no losing of the license, none of that. And she says that she was unfairly targeted by the DA because of her celebrity status. I want to pick your brain on this.
If I was her PR rep, I would tell her to stop talking. The more this is in the news, the dumber it is. Like, it just makes her look worse and worse. You got caught drunk driving at like 50 some odd years old. You were lucky enough to not get killed or kill anyone or injure anyone. Take the punishment regardless of what it is. I don't care how harsh it is. And just be quiet and let it go away, because this was a blessing from God. Learn your lesson, grow up, and move on.
Well, do you think that for this particular instance, like, I mean, I don't know. I have a friend who, when I was 20 years old, and she is no longer here anymore, so unfortunately, but she had a DUI. And when she did, she had to serve 2 months in jail, and then she had to do 4 consecutive weekends, and then she had to do a drug rehabilitation program and 2 years of probation. And I'm like thinking about that, and I'm like, Shannon Beador, girl, 3 times the legal limit. You are lucky. You've been touched by an angel, babe.
She has a silver spoon in her mouth. That the fact that she's upset about this is crazy. And if I were the judge, I don't even know if this is legal, but I would hear her complaining about her punishment for her stupidity, and I'd be like, okay, we're gonna up this because you clearly didn't learn your lesson, and you're gonna do it again. There's no remorse here, so let's take away the license and raise everything else. More community service. $950. Are you?
Yeah.
What?
You got paid $10,000 to go to BravoCon. And my friend, I didn't even add this in, but after a year of losing her license, she had to do 6 months with a breathalyzer. And the reason I know this is because I drove with her from Tennessee to Florida, and I had to take over the wheel because she was tired. And every 15 minutes, I had to go, like, I had to hum it. What?
That's a real thing. I always thought that was just like, I don't know. I didn't know that was like real.
Oh no, it's real. It's real. It's real. And they have a camera that's like posted on your dash to make sure that you are the one who's blowing into the breathalyzer. It's a whole thing.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I want to see photos of her doing that. Let's put one of those in her car. And
I mean, Shannon Beador. So we can agree that this is just, you have to let this one go. This sounds stupid.
So that it hurts. And I again, she needs to have a meeting with her PR team, and they need to have a conversation with her on, being quiet.
On what we're doing. I agree with that. All right. So my next question for you is the Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky of it all. So Kyle Richards has been running around, and now she is swapping outfits with Morgan Wade. We know that she is doing a documentary of Morgan. Mauricio just recently did an interview with the Skinny Confidential, and he said that everyone who is speculating on my marriage can fuck off. That was his statement. Like, please kindly fuck off. I don't need you guys to speculate on my marriage. And if you have an opinion, I'm living it. You guys don't know the same way that I know. But then we're watching, and he's like, I am not with Emma Slater. She grabbed my hand. I grabbed her hand. It was casual. It was after an event. If I found my husband really quick and he was doing a show and I saw him grab someone's hand, I wouldn't Lorena Bobbitt your ass because that's your, but I would be like, put your hand on this table and give me the butcher's knife because that shit is coming off. Like, what? And you're trying to sell that to us as if it's so innocent. I mean, what would you do if Cody had his hand on another woman's hand and said,
Cody's personality. It's not his personality. When Cody feels uncomfortable hugging other women, he won't. Like, we went to a country dance hall one time with my mom, and I asked him to dance with my mom on the floor, and he was like, I'm never dancing with another woman besides you. Like, that's just his personality. And with Mauricio and Kyle, they're both very flirty. They're both very outgoing. One of the venues I worked at, they rented out for the agency for like a Christmas party or something. And I remember them coming in, and they were exactly like they were on TV. They were very lovey-dovey towards each other. They both got absolutely hammered in the most fun way. She was dancing, doing her splits. He was dancing, and they were exactly like what you see on Beverly Hills. So I loved seeing that from them. But I think that they're both just very outgoing and flirty people. And I don't blame him for saying, hey, everyone F off, because all of these people putting in their opinions, it's not making it easier for them to solve things.
Right.
It's only making it more complicated. And I'm sure that stresses him out, because who wants to lose their wife after being married for 30, 40 years? That's starting over sounds miserable. I'm sure they would both be fine because they're both like successful and attractive and outgoing. But
and worth $100 million.
And just a casual $100 million. But I would like to see them fix things, because they have been the cutest couple on Beverly Hills for a really long time. But everyone just needs to like give them the space to figure it out. But unfortunately, when you're trying to figure something out in front of cameras, like, you can't control. People are going to have their opinions.
Do you feel like with Mauricio and Kyle that, like, do you think it's fair that people are able to speculate on Kyle's relationship with Morgan Wade, or do you lean into the side of like, well, you are now questioning someone's sexuality? Because people are really indifferent about this because she is on reality TV. We are talking about, you know, Mauricio's relationship with Emma Slater, but for her, it's almost like she gets a pass because the relationship in question is with another female. So it's like, now we're questioning your sexuality. Where are you at with this?
I don't know. Like, I can't tell if she enjoys the attention with Morgan, because if there isn't anything going on, she's definitely feeding into it. Or if I really can't tell what's going on with her and Morgan. One second I'm like, oh, they're definitely into each other. And then the next I'm like, no, I think that this is just an innocent friendship. So I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. I have no idea. That one really has me thrown for a loop.
It makes you kind of question, right? You're like,
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell.
If she's coming out, like, no one's going to be surprised at this point. But if she's not coming out, then their friendship, she seems to just kind of relish the attention she's getting from their friendship a little bit. Because they're very public. They're not even hanging out in private. They're making it a thing. They did a music video together where they're just like making out.
I have to ask you about this too and see if you believe in this or if you think that this is just BS. There was a DeuxMoi post that came out that said, for you guys who are watching, message: production spent 4 hours at a friend's home within the last couple of weeks testing out her young family to potentially sign them onto the reboot of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Production says that they are ready to revamp the entire cast and they don't have much faith for this current season to sit well with viewers. Now, for you guys who are listening, DeuxMoi, they post these things, but it doesn't mean that everything is true. Where do you lean?
I can't imagine that they're going to get rid of the entire cast just like that. I haven't looked at what their ratings or viewership is, but I don't think it's gone down to a place where they would just, I mean, recasting is a huge gamble.
Yeah.
To give everyone's favorite people and have like a bunch of people we don't know and start over, that's a huge gamble. I don't believe this. I don't think that they're going to get rid of everyone and start from scratch. That seems like a really drastic move for one of their more popular franchises.
Right. No, that's kind of what I thought. I was like, for RHONY, it made sense after the whole Ebony K. Williams, Ramona Singer, everything that happened. I got that. But in this case, I'm like, I don't think so.
This would come out of left field.
It would come out of left field. All right. So my next
in it, then I'm for a reboot.
Yeah.
I would gladly trade the entire cast of Beverly Hills in for Lisa Vanderpump to come back.
Oh God. I just saw her at BravoCon and I love her so much. And every time she sees me and Jason, she's just like, well, she always has new teeth. And I always appreciate it because she has like a new set of veneers. And I'm like, there's $30,000. There's another $30,000. There's another $30,000. So I
all line her walls like, oh, these were my veneers from, early 2000s. And then we're moving on to 2005 veneers.
I'm like, can I just have your old ones? I will take them. Whatever you did with them and all, if you touched, like Ken's like little dingling, whatever, I don't care. We will like wash them off and put them in bleach and whatever, and I will move on and I will wear those veneers. And I'm okay.
She donates them to is it Dorit's Foundation? Homeless, not
God.
toothless.
Toothless, not. Oh yeah. Wait, is it? No, it's toothless, not homeless, isn't it?
No, they're homeless.
No, it's homeless, not toothless.
It's homeless, not toothless.
It's a girl, we're gonna get to you next time. Trust me, you're on the radar. You're on the radar. Okay, so my next question for you, where I wanted to go down the line, was Carl Radke and Lindsay Hubbard. Now, I saw her at BravoCon, and she looked absolutely stunning. She looked unbothered. She had the tummy showing, and she looked just snatched. I mean, great. But the rumor is that before Lindsay found out that she was going to be going through a breakup, production found out, and that he went through production in order to do his job, to have them document the entire thing. I don't know about you, Jessica, but for me, you would catch me at charge. If you broke up with me right before a wedding and you invited cameras into my house, and I
The
see,
level of psychotic I would hit would break the internet.
is that not what? Could you imagine? What would you do? Really, think about it.
Oh, the level of psychotic that would hit, they would have to do like, I don't know, 6 more episodes, and it would all consist of me screaming and them holding me back, because that, and with that being said, I love Carl. Like, I love him, everything he went through with his brother and him getting sober. Like, I have been rooting for his success, and there's just like this level of decorum that I think needs to happen when you're on reality TV, where there are conversations that need to happen off of camera, and that should have been one of them.
I mean,
So
you have and it's funny because now you see where Carl's mom is in Mexico, Sheena and Brock are in Mexico. There are other people who are in Mexico kind of celebrating what would have been their wedding, but they're just like enjoying the vacation, which I don't blame them. They're not the ones who broke the thing. I would continue on my vacation anyways. If I cancel business and yeah.
All of those tickets were non-refundable. They literally left everyone high and dry. So yeah, go on the vacation.
But if you sat there, if I walked in the house and I'm like, hey, babe, how are you? Take a seat. Take a seat for what? And it's like, I'm canceling the wedding and I'm leaving you. I would be like, bitch, what? In front of a camera?
Is that a seashell? What did you just pick up?
No, it's my blooming.
Do you do that in between interviews? You're just like,
yeah, it's my skincare. Yeah, it's infrared. It takes away all of the inflammation. But after Vegas, I have a lot of inflammation. It's not an ad, I swear. This one is not an ad. But so in this moment, are we team Carl or team Lindsay?
I am team Carl because, and this has to be explained.
Oh my God.
I don't like the way that Lindsay drank and acted around Carl in that relationship. When someone loses a family member over a substance abuse and you drink and get drunk and act like that, you're showing a level of disrespect that is equal to getting broken up with on camera in my book. So when I had to watch that through last season, I was just kind of hoping that they would break up. And I think she deserves it. I don't feel bad for her. Like, it's alcohol. It's just a liquid you're consuming. Go learn to have fun in a different way and support your future husband, because that's what he needs from you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, that's a totally different side that I didn't see coming. But I think that's why it's so important to have these conversations, because it's like, okay, that's a great perspective, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you're getting married, things like personality switches do occur. And I didn't feel like she was trying to be supportive of him. She got drunk, and then when she wasn't around him, she would kind of complain to her friends about not being able to drink. And that also felt icky, because you not being able to drink, you shouldn't want to drink at this point. What he went through, you were his pillar of strength when he lost his brother. The first person he went to when he got that call was Lindsay in the house right before he left. So he expects something of you, and you're failing him. So I feel like that is so much deeper than getting broken up with on a camera. I think that's the fundamental problem, and I think that once she started drinking and behaving like that, that's where you saw the domino effect of their relationship kind of crumble.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Wow. Oh my God,
And
you're
that's
swaying me. You're swaying me. All right.
Carl's
So
going to get his life together. I want to see that for him. Lindsay's not going to change. She's going to be the same person on this new season of Summer House. She's going to drink. She's going to party. She's not going to mature. She's going to blame everyone else for her problems. And she's going to be sitting in the exact same place she was.
But she does look snatched. So we'll give that to her.
Good for her.
Okay. So my next, moving on, is the reality reckoning of it all. Now, you were on reality TV, and people go back and they rewatch the episodes, especially on Big Brother, where you had such a massive fan base for that show. Bethany Frankel is trying to fight for you guys who have been on reality TV to have residuals. But also, a lot of people think that she is stepping on the network that gave her the entire platform that made her successful in the first place. Where do you lean in this?
I guess I'm just a little confused as to why Bethany's getting involved, because I've seen all the things that she says about reality TV and producers and the manipulation and everything that happens behind the scenes. And she's not wrong. She's 100% right. Like, they give you crappy food or not enough food. They prevent you from sleeping. They're very manipulative. And then the pay structure is absolutely awful. They 100% take advantage of people to do reality TV. But I'm confused why Bethany is the one doing all of this, because she's a very smart woman. You cannot tell me that a producer manipulated Bethany Frankel. You can't tell me that she didn't make her own money doing all of this and work the system. So I guess I'm confused as to like why she's the champion of all of this. I would understand it more if it was Rachel.
I mean, do you think that she's using people like Nene Leakes, Rachel, and Denise Richards to get her message across? Like, is it for ratings and money, or do you think that she's really trying to do the greater good for reality TV? I guess talent.
Was she really close with any of these women? I don't know. It doesn't seem like she's in it for money or the greater good. Maybe I don't know. She wants to, I think it might make more sense if there's revenge involved. Like, maybe she wants revenge on someone who had, like, a producer or something like that. She has a vendetta. Like, that angle makes more sense to me than, her trying to champion the cause or making money.
Yeah. So with her saying that she felt like that BravoCon, Andy Cohen completely dodged any of like the big questions. Did you watch or no?
I watched parts of it.
Do you feel like he was? I don't know what you wanted him to do though, because there's 8,500 people a day who are there, who are buying tickets. Like, do you want him to put a damper on it for them? Because they're flying from Kentucky, Florida, Texas, California, Missouri, Mississippi, New Orleans, New York, and they're flying from all over, and they're trying to enjoy their experience. But you want him to sit there and be like, guys, this is a shit show. Like, what do you want?
He's got to protect the network. He's got to keep the magic happening, because as much as we hate to hear that people are, being underpaid or not being treated well behind the scenes, we still love what comes from all of these franchises. So we subconsciously know we can't have it both ways. So we kind of just choose to turn the other cheek as viewers because we want these shows to keep happening.
Yeah.
Like the whole Rachel Vanderpump situation, that was a dumpster fire that you could not look away from.
Yeah.
Do we want to like know if Rachel was mistreated behind the scenes, or do we just want to keep watching?
I mean, now with that
Will
too. Yeah. We'll have to revisit this one because I don't actually know what people want. But then for you as a reality TV star, obviously you know that some people love you and some people do not, right? Have you ever had someone who walked up to you and said, I really didn't like you on the show?
Not to me. It happens to Cody all the time.
Oh my God.
It happens to Cody all the time. He often gets like, I didn't like you on the show, but I love you after the show. And that's always so funny because what's the proper response to that?
Yeah, what do you say?
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
I don't have an answer.
I'm in a totally different place in my life, but thank you.
Yeah.
You think I'm an asshole. Great.
Imagine being locked in a house with a bunch of people that you don't like. You're not going to be this like shining version of yourself for, 3 months. So it is what it is.
Andy
and people
Cohen
also have that when you're doing a show, a producer's job is to make you feel like they're your best friend. So anything that you say, they will laugh hysterically. Okay? If you're going to tell a joke or insult someone, they're going to laugh and make you feel like that was really funny because they want to egg you on and they want you to feel comfortable and let your guard down and keep talking. If you are they are the devil on your shoulder. Okay? You could say something and it's not funny at all, but they will laugh like you are Jim Carrey. And you feed into it and you let your guard down and you start talking more and talking more and talking more. And you end up putting your foot in your mouth.
Oy, oy, oy. Well, Andy Cohen, who is one of the executive producers, I have my little naked pussy here who is just like all over me. Can we go? She feels like a condom and smells like popcorn. It's the weirdest thing. Okay.
But you enjoy her.
Yeah, I love her.
You're popcorn.
7 years later. Andy Cohen got mad about this because Jennifer Aydin was accused of body shaming a fan at BravoCon who called her out and said, why do you feel the need to crawl up Teresa's asshole? And then she said, hey, big boy. But the fan was clearly a woman. And from there, she said she was a whale who waddled. I'm going to play the clip and see what you think.
Oh, no.
Teresa, I wasn't asking you. You can sit down.
Teresa, I wasn't asking you. You can sit down.
Let me enlighten you on what it's like to have a good friend. Sorry you don't have any good friends, but good friends support each other all the time, and she supports me too. Yeah. So take it away. Hello. What's your name? Hey. Bye. Hey, big boy. Big boy with the big mouth. Teresa's gonna say something to you. Taylor, I guess you don't know what good friends. Do you know what good friends stand for? Sit down. I guess you don't know what my ass too right now. Bye. Bye. She had to tell Walker to us, baby. You can go.
All right. So I guess my question for you is, I know. Is it something that you would you respond like if you were at a BravoCon or a Comic-Con or a Big Brother Con, I don't know, but something where fans were sitting there heckling you, how would you take it?
Oh my gosh. Okay. That was such a disaster, first and foremost. I think it's very clear that the woman hit a red button for Jennifer, right?
Yeah.
She's been hearing this for years and years. And she reacted because she's sick of hearing it. And she went way too far. Like, she just crossed so many lines. But this woman, it's everything she said was inappropriate. Maybe like tone it down, because I believe that if someone's coming at you, staying the composed one looks better for you in the long run and
You
will
win the
serve your
conversation.
Yes, you do win. You like default. The person who gets louder and angrier automatically loses and looks like the psychopath, as opposed to like just staying calm. And then this woman, you have to, I don't understand. I've never, ever, ever gone onto like a stranger's profile on Instagram and left a comment that was rude who I didn't know. And it's that same mentality. Like, why are we being internet trolls? What is happening? Just because you bought a ticket to watch people that you enjoy on TV does not give you the right to be so utterly disrespectful. Like, let's have some decorum and bring it back. You are not a reality star, so don't act like, the Teresa turning tables situation. So they were both wrong. They're both like so completely out of line. And the last thing that I want to just drive home, if you say something rude to somebody, do not be surprised when they act rude back to you. That is the one thing that always blows my mind. If someone sends me something rude on Instagram, I'm very like passive aggressive about it, and I don't really get involved. But like, if I block you and you're mad, why are you confused? You were rude and nasty. You got a response that you didn't like. I didn't like your rude and nasty. So I don't know. I guess it goes back to the golden rule: treat others the way you want to be treated.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
I feel like that's fair. Honestly, like when I saw this, I was like, you bought tickets. Yes. You are a fan. Yes. But you're also, that doesn't mean because you bought a ticket that you get to sit there and like attack someone. You have to kind of fall in line with you are a fan. You came here to watch these people. You sit there with your red wine at the end of the night and you're like, okay, I enjoyed this show. But you looked for a moment and you got matched with the moment. You know what I mean? She got you back. And I saw where Andy Cohen was like, I was very disappointed in her with the body shaming and all of the other things, but I don't know. I guess moving on for Jennifer Aiden, I'm sorry. And we will get back to you. I had a moment with her. I have to tell you after this.
Okay.
Vicki
Good or
Gunvalson
bad?
returning. It was good.
I don't think anyone believed you. Literally no one.
I think that it wasn't bad. It was just direct. Does that make sense?
Did you say something about her and she was addressing it?
No, I did an interview with someone else who said something about her and she addressed it. And she had that interview taken down. So I'll tell you after. But I wanted to ask you, Vicki Gunvalson being so celebrated and getting the award for, being like one of the biggest housewives, and her saying that I'm not going to be a friend of, I am only doing full-time or nothing. What do you think about bringing Vicki back to the show?
I mean, I'm just ready for some new blood across the whole franchise. And the reason that I'm thinking that is because when we look at Real Housewives of Dubai and Salt Lake City, I love those two franchises, and they're only a couple of seasons in, and those girls bring it. When you have vets, they get so comfortable, and then you have people who are sucking up to them. It goes back to Jersey too. Like with the whole Teresa situation, I wish they would get rid of Teresa, and it has nothing to do with Teresa. It just has to do with everyone feels like they have to kiss her butt or be her best friend in order to stay on the show. So when women start staying for too long in a franchise, I'm just kind of like, get rid of them. People aren't being
You're saying
genuine.
there's a hierarchy.
Yeah, absolutely. And everyone knows it. I mean, if you're a new person, you feel like the pressure to bring it. You're either boring or you're over dramatic, and it's entertaining in some way, shape, or form. I love Salt Lake City. I think those women bring it. Dubai, their first season was so fun to watch. And these other franchises, I can like watch an episode and be like, okay, that was fine.
So before I get to Salt Lake City and Dubai, my thoughts are, and I want to see kind of like picking your brain. I say that and I don't want to see anyone fired, but I say that we move Heather Dubrow to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We take out Taylor Armstrong, bring back in Vicki Gunvalson if you want, bring another friend in. But if Vicki Gunvalson is in and she is doing the Tres Amigas with Shannon Beador and Tamra Judge, then Emily Simpson, Jennifer Pedranti, and Gina Kirschenheiter are not a match for them. So then we need to bring back Kelly Dodd. That is the only person who will be like, I don't care. And she will lead the charge against them. What are your thoughts?
You just rewrote the chessboard. And I feel like Bravo now needs to hire you as far as casting goes, because that makes so much sense and would be such a good revamp franchise. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because sometimes when you have a person, she just doesn't fit with one cast, but fits with another. And I think Heather Dubrow coming over makes sense. I think all of that made sense. I think
okay.
We need to now.
So all right. What do you think about Brandi Glanville returning to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Do you think she's too controversial after the Ultimate Girls Trip thing with Caroline Manzo? Or do you think, I kind of feel bad for her, and I'm going to tell you why, and I want to pick your brain on this. The fact that Caroline Manzo said that she was violated, I think that that's never okay, right? Mm-hmm. But then the fact that Brandi Glanville said, release the audio, release the video, because I am losing so many jobs, and show them that I did not do this. And then her cast members are saying she did not do this. I'm like, I don't know. I'm starting to kind of lean into...
I didn't know that she was demanding to release the audio. Why don't they?
Because they own it. It's their IP.
Okay. 6 million people will watch that. So let's release the dang audio. I think that's a great idea. Brandi's always good TV. Always.
Yeah.
So,
and
yeah.
For her too, I think what happened here was that I feel like Caroline Manzo, I think that there was a lot of alcohol involved, and she got caught into a situation where she probably woke up the next morning and she didn't love what happened. And she panicked and she was like, I'm out. That's not what she came to do. And I think for Brandi now being kicked off of Traders and losing sponsorships, and more than anyone who's watching this right now, that once you leave the show, the brand deals, the everything, that's what kind of keeps you afloat, and like the opportunities that come after it. That's what helps. So for Brandi to lose everything and to be like, release the audio, to be so comfortable and confident in that, that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think Caroline's just trying to save her own reputation, and definitely had some remorse or regret or whatever you want to call it. And I love Brandi. I think anything that she's on, I'm always like, oh, that's going to be fun to watch. So, Brandi's thing is everyone always feels bad for Brandi.
Yeah.
She always is like the bad end of the stick, but she is a phoenix who will always rise from the ashes. You know what I mean? Like, how many times has Brandi been canceled? And she's come back every single time.
At least 3.
Yeah, she always comes back bigger, better, stronger, funnier, and more touchy.
Yeah, that's true. If you had to reboot any franchise, what franchise would it be?
Like any existing one and recast and reboot it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably the OC. I think the OC needs a reboot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of bored. I a couple years ago, I would have 100% said New York. I could not stand watching New York, but that's partly because I have a hard time watching people who pay that much to live in a closet.
Yeah. No, I
I'm
know.
like, you paid how much, and that is what you're living in. It makes me sad, and it also makes me question your judgments in life.
I know when I saw your house after you posted it, I think it was like what, like, was it 6 years ago? 5 years?
Our old house,
I don't know,
because we
like the
haven't.
big one.
We built a new one 2 years ago.
Just like a bigger one?
Yeah.
Okay, we're done.
I love that reaction.
Just like the first house that was so amazing, but now we have, okay, we're done with Jessica. We're moving on. I wanted to ask you, did you know that I did an interview with, have you watched The Real Housewives of Miami or no?
No, I haven't. I've been wanting to because it looks really good, but I haven't watched it.
So I did an interview with one of the wives. Her husband, who is a plastic surgeon, he ended up leaving her for a model.
Okay.
And I did an interview with this model. Jessica, I got like reamed. But I didn't take the interview down. I did an interview with Jen Shaw and Mary Cosby's parents. And the whole situation when Portia Williams from The Real Housewives of Atlanta stole Fallon Gobadia's husband. Like, I've done all of these interviews and I've gotten really, really bad feedback. And I never care about that. But I ended up taking the interview down because I saw where I was hurting someone who was connected with my friend group. So I was like, I can't move forward with that. So that's what I was going to ask you is that, like, do you think that everyone deserves a platform to share their voice? Or do you think that sometimes you really have to pick and choose? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, gosh. So basically, let me just make sure I understand the situation. There was a mistress, and he's now engaged with the mistress?
Yeah, with the $2 million diamond.
With the ring is $2 million?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've seen pictures of that girl, and she just, to me, I'm like, oh, you were gonna steal someone's man. Like, you were on a mission. That's what I see when I look. I'm judging a book by its cover. I don't know anything about the storyline.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's always interesting to hear both perspectives. Still, I mean, let her tell her side of the story and let the audience decide if she's a liar or if she's telling the truth.
I got my ass ripped open for that.
Oh, well, I hope it heals.
All right. So we're gonna move from this, move on. My next question for you, I'm gonna play a video for you and ask you what you think about the husbands entering into women's business. Is it technically women's business if you're also featured on the show, or is it definitely women's business because it's called The Real Housewives of whatever city? I'm going to play a video for you and I'm going to ask you what you would think if your husband did the same thing. Ready?
Okay.
The rest of them call each other? I don't get it. Why do you think there's such a fuss over that?
I think because it hurts her, it bothers her.
Teresa
I said it. I don't think it's as bad as half the other names I could have called her. But I also think, just like an athlete, at some point in your career, you age out. And I think that's certainly possible. And I think calling her a has-been, look, I was called a name and I responded. And I was called a drug dealer.
A horrible, horrible name.
And I got down to her level and I responded in the same way and called her a has-been. I don't normally, just launch out and say these things and launch out at people. I'm generally a very friendly person. But when I came on this show with my wife, when we started, I kind of looked at it as like a fun outlet.
Yeah.
I was going to have fun. I was going to try to escape work a little bit because I work a lot. So the last thing I wanted was another job. And season.
Okay. So
that
for him
Rachel's-
calling, what?
Is that Rachel's husband? It was the
Yeah.
side of his face. Okay.
Yeah. So he called Teresa Giudice a has-been. But do you remember when Nene Leakes told Peter to stay out of women's business and don't be a bitch? It kind of brought me back.
If Teresa's gonna call him a drug dealer, again, it goes back to if you're gonna say something to someone, prepare for them to like give it right back to you.
It's not gender specific.
No, like if you're going to call, if Teresa's talking to Rachel and they're having their own argument, then that's one thing. But if Teresa directly talks to, Rachel's husband and says, you're a drug dealer, he has every right to defend himself, especially when it comes to the Jersey franchise, because the guys are so intertwined and a part of that show. They should just get paid at this point.
Yeah. All right. So you think it's okay as long as like, if you're, it's kind of like, I'm going to match you with the same energy that you hit me with. So if you're going to sit there and you're going to make accusations to me, then I can sit there and make accusations to you. It's not gender specific. It's not if I'm going in the male's restroom to the women's restroom. Doesn't matter. It is what it is. You hit me, I'm going to hit you.
If you're going to say my name, I'm going to respond. And if I'm going to say someone else's name, I expect them to be able to defend themselves, period. Also, I just want to throw a little side note in. Him thinking that this wasn't going to be a job and it was going to be fun. If you're going to go on Housewives, prepare for your life to be destroyed at some point or another. Like you see it with every single housewife. They go after your business. They go after your family. They go after your money. They go after your home. They go after your children. This is not something fun to sign up for. I would never be a housewife because my life is perfect. It's like wrapped with a little bow, and I don't need anyone trying to blow up my life.
Yeah. No, I agree. Listen, as we move on. Okay. So before we end up letting you go, I guess my last thing is that Ariana Madix feels like the season 11 premiere going into season 11, that fans are going to turn on her and probably start to favor Tom Sandoval. Now, I went to the season 10 premiere. I'm friends with all of them. As you know, Danica ended up managing Sir, which I thought was like the biggest joke ever, but that's okay. Sorry, Danica. Honestly, I don't know you, so I don't care. But I worked there for on and off for over a decade, and watching everything that I saw and then hearing what I heard, a lot of the girls, because when you're on reality TV, especially like a show like this, you have an element of ego and narcissism. I think that plays in. And I think Andy Cohen said this best, like that plays into it, and that's okay. It's not a big deal. It takes a special personality to be a great reality TV star. Not everyone is made for TV. So now Ariana thinks that the fans are going to turn against her on season 11 and favor Tom Sandoval. And Tom Sandoval is very much so, from what I've heard, going against her. But I'm going to play a clip from Lala Kent. Here we go.
I want to react to what you said about Sandoval. I think in the moment after I said that, she was probably annoyed with me. But I have really great conversations with Ariana. This season is going to look very different, and I think everyone is very raw and confused. Not everybody. There's a couple people who are still standing strong in how Ariana knows me. And sometimes I have to remind her, even though I say these things, it doesn't mean I'm going to invite him to Christmas dinner. It doesn't mean I'm checking in on him. Like, you are my friend. I will always be honest with you, and I will always support you. So I feel like we're in a really great place. And she's killing it on Dancing with the Stars, by the way.
Can I say really quick, just looking at you, playing with your like ear and stuff, you would have been such a good match for Lala Kent. I don't know if you guys would have been unstoppable friends, or if she would have came up to you and she would have been like, bitch, you want to go to Toes? And you would have been like, wine bottle bust over the table. Let's do it. You want to go to Toes? Like, I feel like you're like, I don't know.
There's a lot to dissect with Lala because there's a lot there. Okay. I always go back and forth with Lala because I love it when she's strong and I hate when she caves. I really do. So if you go back to last season, her talk with Rachel, she was going after Rachel, and she was 100% right to. But then Rachel showed up to Lala's birthday and pulled her outside, and they had that conversation, and Lala kind of caved and was like, you know what, I'm sorry for calling you a mistress. I was a mistress, blah, blah, blah. And they hugged it out. And I was like, why? No, why are you doing that? I want to see her like stick to her guns. Same with Sandoval. I mean, I think that Lala harbors a little bit of resentment towards Ariana. And you've heard, I can't remember if it was her or Stassi that said it, but they were like, when we went through these awful breakups, we didn't get the Ariana treatment. You know, Ariana has gotten the world handed to her at her feet. And Lala was like, everything Randall did to me, like no one had my back like this and handed me all of these opportunities. So I think there's a little bit of resentment there with Lala and Ariana.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
It doesn't surprise me that she might, have a soft spot for Tom because of that resentment. I don't know how anyone could take Tom's side. I think he's so cringy. Like, no, I just can't. And as far as Ariana and how people are going to react to her this season, it goes back to like the whole Batman saying, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. So she's the hero, but if she stays the hero for too many seasons, like the tables will turn eventually. The pendulum always swings both ways.
Oy, oy, oy. Well, Jesus Christ. All right. So I have to ask you, for those who don't know, will you let them know, Jessica, where we can find you? Because I think that this has been such a fun conversation. But also, I mean, I can't even believe that I was able to get you on.
Oh, I watch all of your videos and I'm like, oh, I'm so proud of him. I get all my Bravo gossip from you at this point.
Thank you. And I said that we should do something together. We should literally, like, even if I get to steal you for like one day a week or something, like, it would be so much fun.
Well, let's see how much hate I get for everything I said today, and then we'll talk.
I mean, look at the comments. So
I'll look for the next negative ones later.
Yeah. All right, Jessica, if they don't know, will you let them know?
You can find me on Instagram at the Jessica Nickson, and I have a clothing company called It's Nom. It stands for It's None of My Business, and we have amazing clothing, and you should definitely bookmark and follow that page because we have the best Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals coming up next week.
Wait, I am definitely putting this up right now. Hold on. No, we're not done anymore, guys. Right here?
Yeah.
Okay, so Black Friday early access. Wow. Look at you go. I'm surprised that you're not putting yourself in these.
Girl, I'm pregnant.
Oh. Well,
sometimes I model the clothing when I'm not this big, I just don't fit in any of it right now.
I mean, I get that part. Well, the models are like stunning. Wow.
The one with the dark hair is actually Annalise. She's from Big Brother in the Challenge.
Oh, really?
She looks familiar to anybody.
Oh, it's a reality TV star mashup. Great. Here we go. Oh, 9 pages. Like, you're not done. You're like, no, we're going to keep going.
We have a ton of really great stuff. We also sell like Barefoot Dream dupe blankets that are super cozy and make for great Christmas presents.
All right, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin the description the link to itsnom.com. That way you guys can go check it out and make sure that you go buy, especially if they're running deals for Black Friday and Christmas. And you guys know, I know that we have X amount of people in here right now, but we're going to get thousands of views. That we have a lot to do. Christmas is right around the corner. The holidays are right around the corner, and we have a lot of presents to buy. So let's get ready. Let's support a mom who is pregnant, who is doing the damn thing. So Jessica, oh, see, Jessica's store has really nice clothing. See?
Oh, thank you.
Jessica, I watched all Big Brother season 5 times.
Oh, wow.
I love that Jessica came on and killed it. Yeah, see, they love you. I love this.
Oh.
Why was Tom in a skirt at BravoCon? I don't know, but
That's
it wasn't from itsnom.com.
It was not from its nom. I was actually thinking that. I didn't say it, but I was like, this guy doesn't know how to chill. He could have gone to BravoCon and stayed under the radar, but he showed up in a kilt.
Yeah. Next time I'm going to show up is with my naked pussy. But guys,
Oh
we're an hour in, so we love you guys. Thank you to everyone in the live chat for supporting. Make sure that you definitely go follow and go check out itsnom.com. And I will put that again in the description of this video. And I will see you guys. I don't know when I'll see you guys, but I'm taking my husband out for a date tomorrow. So I'll see you after that. Love you guys. See you next time.
Bye.